Hello and welcome back. And actually, welcome back to me because I just got home from the airport like 5 minutes ago. I was gone for 2 weeks actually. I was in Florida for a horse show for the last couple of weeks and just got home. And I'm really happy to be home. I'm a homebody. I love being at home. I have fun, obviously, when I'm away at a horse show. I really enjoy that, but I really do love coming home. And the only part I don't love about coming home is just getting reorganized. I'm the kind of person who, when I get home from a trip, like I have to completely unpack and like get totally settled, or else I just don't feel like I can sleep well. I don't feel like I have anything together for the next day. So I'm really glad I'm home early. It's only like 12:30 in the afternoon right now, so I have a lot of time to get organized. But I also find that getting totally unpacked, getting organized once I get home from a trip really helps me get right back on track with all of my normal sort of routines, wellness habits, etc., and not feel like kind of discombobulated. In particular, like I said, sleep, like that's really, really important to me to keep my sleep on schedule and just kind of like having things well organized for the next day, and then I'm not like thinking about all the things I have to do the next day or unpacking or whatever. So I definitely want to get all of that or as much of that stuff done as I can this afternoon. I have a lot of stuff to unpack. Long story short, because it was a long trip and I was taking some stuff there that I was leaving there and I was bringing some stuff back. So I have a ton of stuff to unpack, a lot of laundry to do. I have several packages that arrived while I was gone. I have a bunch of mail to go through, all those things that just happen when you're away for 2 weeks. So we're gonna do a little reset now and make sure that I am ready to get through the rest of this week. Make sure I have some food in my fridge, make sure that I can get back to my workouts and some of my regular health appointments. And again, just kind of do all the little things that I know are going to help me feel as good as I can and feel like I'm staying on track and helping my body stay on track as well. So I'm pretty tired right now. I had to get up really early this morning to get to the airport. It already feels like it's been a long day. Pretty hungry. I'm trying to find something to eat. I don't have a lot of food, obviously, in my fridge since I was gone for so long. But I'm gonna make a little something to eat. I'm gonna start all of this unpacking. But first things first, I really need to water all my plants because they did get watered by a neighbor while I was gone, but they've been a little neglected the last few days. So I'm gonna get that done and then start on all the rest of this stuff. Okay, now that I've had a chance to eat something and change out of my airport clothes, which my friend who picked me up, we were kind of laughing because both of us feel like traveling kind of gives us the ick. And like, as soon as we get home, we have to change into different clothes. I feel like I have to completely like wipe down my luggage before I'll bring it into my house just because I don't know where it's been. I've been dragging it through the airport. It just feels gross to me. So we were kind of laughing about that. Maybe I'm crazy. That's also probably why I hate the unpacking part because I feel like I have to literally sanitize everything before I want to unpack it and put it away. But anyway, ready to tackle the suitcases. I'm going to put a podcast on, unpack everything, maybe start some laundry, and then my reward is going to be unboxing the packages that came while I was gone. I definitely will not be getting outside for any sunlight this morning. All right, finished my workout and now I'm about to head into the chiropractor. This is definitely something that is one of my first priorities when I get back from traveling, especially having been gone for like 2 weeks and I was doing a lot of riding. I was obviously on airplanes, I was sleeping in kind of not the most comfortable bed. So this is one of my first stops when I get home. I actually feel pretty good considering I was gone that long and like all the activity I was doing. But I know I will feel better after doing this. I know my body could use it, and just from my own experience and having done chiropractic for a really long time and having had periods of time where I wasn't able to do it and just knowing the difference in how my body feels physically and mentally, it's something that just works really well for me and I'm going to continue to do it. So going to head into my appointment now and then after this going to get an IV infusion. All right, adjustment is done. Now heading over to get my IV infusion. Today I'm doing a liver detox, which is one of the 2 different ones that I rotate between. And I've mentioned before in other videos, I do these IVs pretty regularly just for body support, just to kind of support all systems and make sure I'm getting enough nutrients like in a really easy to absorb form. But especially when I get back from traveling, I feel like traveling is just a really big stress on the body in general, and even if it's not something that like I might notice physically in a lot of ways, I just think it's kind of depleting on the system. So I do like to try to get an IV in as soon as I can when I get back to just kind of make sure I'm giving myself that extra support again post-travel. It's a couple hours later now. I got back from my IV appointment, made a quick stop at the grocery store just to pick up a couple of things to get through maybe the next day or 2. And now I'm definitely feeling the fatigue at this point. That is usually something that I kind of plan for the day after I get back, or usually maybe even the couple of days after I get back, where just sort of like readjusting. I did have a little bit of a time change and just kind of getting adjusted to being home and being back in my normal routine, and I just usually feel a little bit extra tired for a couple of days. In general, my energy is best in the morning, and I definitely get kind of a dip in the afternoon, and by the time it's getting closer to bedtime, like that's when I'm feeling very, very tired. So it's not totally unusual for me to feel fatigued in the afternoon, but it's definitely a bit extra strong today. So one of the other things that I do try to plan for when I'm coming home from a trip is to not have too much going on the day after I get back in particular, so that I'm not feeling like really overwhelmed by having to catch up on a ton of work or like meet with clients and stuff like that. So today I just have to kind of catch up on some emails and do some client check-ins, but it's nothing too much. It just kind of gives me a day or 2 after I get home to take it a little bit easier and sort of ease back in, knowing I'm going to be a little bit extra tired. I'm going to feel a little bit discombobulated, or like I'm still sort of getting resettled. Maybe have a few extra things to do, like needing to get to the grocery store or catch up on a few appointments after being away. So that's just one other strategy that I do try to implement when I am traveling, is to just kind of give myself an easier day when I get back, not plan for too much, not cramming in like everything I need to do the day after I get back. And that just helps me also really like mentally, just to feel like I can get all the little tasks done that I need to feel like I'm back on schedule and ready to go for the rest of the week. So I'm gonna go for a quick walk outside just to get a little fresh air and try to give myself a little energy boost before I get some work done this afternoon. It's sort of gray and chilly outside, so I'm hoping it'll wake me up a little bit. And one other kind of interesting thing that's coming up: when I was at the clinic today getting my IV, I picked up a test kit to retest for heavy metals. So this is something that my naturopath and I have been discussing for a little bit, since it's been quite a while since I have tested my heavy metals levels, and in the past they've been very, very high. But now I've been using my sauna for several months and doing some other things to kind of support detoxification. So we're very curious to see what those levels look like at this point. So I do need to kind of gather all the stuff to get that testing done. I'll probably be able to get to that sometime next week and send that in. And then we also did a GI map test a couple of weeks ago. So before I left, I did this test kit and sent it in to do like a really comprehensive gut testing. I think we just got those results back, and I haven't discussed them yet with my doctor, but am planning to have a virtual appointment with her on Monday to go over those results. And it looks like there are some things that she said we will need to be discussing. So it sounds like there are maybe some abnormal results on those tests, which I'm very curious to hear more about. Yeah, retesting some of these things, kind of seeing where things are at now and what kind of protocols or treatments we might be focusing on in the near future. So this is my little hack for getting some extra steps in, especially when it's sort of gloomy and gray or rainy outside and getting dark really early. I just set up my computer on the treadmill. It's like a little makeshift treadmill desk. Obviously I have to walk a little bit slowly to actually be able to get anything done on my computer, but I still can get a lot of steps in and get a lot of stuff done. So it's a win-win situation. As much as I love the sauna and want to try to use it as much as possible for detox purposes, sometimes an Epsom salt bath just sounds more pleasant and relaxing. So that's what I'm going to do tonight. Still good for detoxification, still will help me wind down for a good night's sleep. And also the heat before bed is helpful, like raising your body temperature before bed then signals your body to drop your internal temperature, which is what you need to fall asleep. So that's why things like sauna or a warm bath or shower before bed can help make you feel sleepy and get a good night's sleep. Good morning. It is about 6 o'clock. I got up a little bit ago, and one of the things that I do on these mornings, I wake up pretty early anyway, but especially in the winter when it's going to be dark for a while, and like I know today is going to be another really gray sort of rainy day. There's not going to be a very good chance to get outside and get some sunlight in my eyes. So one thing that I use, especially in the winter months, but really year round, is a little light box, and I will show you what I have and how I set it up and use it every morning. This is the little light box that I use. I just prop it up on my sink in the morning while I'm getting ready, brushing my teeth, washing my face, etc., and I end up getting probably 10 to 20 minutes of bright light into my eyes. It's not an actual sun lamp, but it does produce bright enough light that it does really help wake you up, kind of helps get you that same effect as getting sunlight in your eyes in the morning. So especially on these darker winter days, I like to use this in the morning. I feel like it really helps. So this is my Invisalign. Today is Wednesday, so I'm going to switch out to new Invisalign. I'm on week 9 this week, and I will say that last week was the first week where my teeth really got sore. I don't know if there's just like more of a shift happening right now, but kind of curious to see what these new ones feel like or over the next couple weeks, if I adjust more to it or if I continue to feel pretty sore, but we'll see how this week goes.
Says he can understand the anger, but he hopes audiences will give Rust a chance.
Obviously, the human...
I am feeling pretty tired and just kind of body sore, like achy this morning. This is just kind of normal ups and downs for me. Like some days are just worse than others in terms of pain and fatigue and everything. So I am still gonna go do a little workout this morning. I know that will help with the pain. It will give me a little energy boost. I'll just kind of scale it back and not push myself this morning. And then this morning I also have an in-person client that'll be training at the gym, and then I'll be heading to another appointment with Tim at Axon Movement. He's the one that's been doing the myokinesthetic work with me and also the strep protocol, which I am now on the 3rd round of, and I think I just took the 3rd vial this morning. So I'll be checking in with him on that and getting a little more of the myokinesthetic work done. But first, going to go get my workout in. All right, it's a little while later. I had my training session with the client at the gym and my appointment at Axon Movement for the myokinesthetic work. And we also talked a little bit about the strep protocol that I'm on now. I can't remember if I mentioned this earlier, but I'm on like the 3rd round of this homeopathic strep kit where just we're assuming or thinking there may be an underlying strep infection that is kind of keeping my immune system hostage, if you will. And these kits, like, it gets stronger in dosage as you go, and it can just kind of help to kind of get your immune system over that instead of having it just kind of sort of being an underlying thing that your body is constantly dealing with. If it's not the case that that is what is going on for me or part of what is going on for me, since it's just a homeopathic remedy, it's not going to be harmful, so it's worth a shot. So I'm on the 3rd round, which is like the strongest dosage of it, and I'm only on the 3rd vial of 10 vials. So far I haven't noticed anything extreme or any like major changes since I started it, but similar to the last 2 rounds, when I did the 1st vial, I like immediately got a cold sore again, which has been kind of a theme throughout this. That's kind of been one symptom that has come up, is I just like continuously getting cold sores, which is really fun. But in any case, gonna continue on with that, see if anything else comes up. We did a little more myokinesthetic work this time on my lower body to see if we can continue to kind of unlock some old patterns in my body, some old like neurological pathways that might be keeping me more sort of stuck and in pain. One other kind of weird thing that happened this morning, I mentioned that I was starting my new Invisalign tray, and when I tried to put in the top tray, the back molar on the right side like didn't connect, like it was just sort of hanging down, and it felt really awkward, obviously. And I was trying to figure out like if it just was not snapping into place or what was going on. So I kind of looked at it and compared it to the last ones that I was using and the next week's version, so like week 10, and it kind of looked like there was a little defect or something in the plastic that was keeping it from fitting correctly. So I tried putting on the week 10 trays, like the ones that I would actually be doing next week, and those fit on perfectly. So that's what I actually have on right now. And I just called my orthodontist and asked them basically like if it's okay to just move forward and go to the 10th one since the other ones aren't really fitting. And they said, yeah, that's fine, that's what they would have recommended I do as long as these ones fit okay. So that was just kind of weird. I've never experienced that before with Invisalign, but I guess I'm a week ahead now, so maybe that's good. In any case, I now have been home for 2 full days since returning from travel on Monday afternoon, and I'm feeling really settled, feel like I've got everything organized, kind of got my life back together and back into my normal routine. I have a few more of my regular appointments the rest of this week, and then on Monday I have a virtual session with my naturopath, and we are going to be going over my GI map results. So that's the gut test that I did a couple of weeks ago. We now have those results in, and there definitely were some red flags on there, some abnormal results, which I'm actually kind of glad about, because when we've done gut testing in the past, it usually just like nothing has shown up, even though I've had sort of some GI issues and just like things where we know is related to gut health that is not great. And just like when those test results come back with nothing abnormal, it's kind of hard to know where to go with that, or like what needs to be worked on, or what is underlying that if nothing is really showing up. So very curious to have that appointment on Monday. For today, I'm going to go back to my little treadmill desk setup in the gym here and get a little bit more work done and get some steps in, because it is freezing outside and it's basically been snowing today. And I am just like not mentally prepared to go out in the cold and take a walk. So we're gonna go get some steps in, get some things done. And next week I will be back with my gut health results and also be doing my heavy metals testing. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you soon.